Hey there, my beautiful people. Yes, yes. Today is Tuesday, so it's time for What's on Melody's Mind today. Yay! We're in my living room. We're in my living room. I have a daily broadcast. I have a show where I'm on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook every single day. Every single day. And I have five dogs. Four out of five dogs don't know how to be quiet when they see me talking to a camera. Well, not see me, they hear me because I kick them out the room. So I thought, well, maybe if I'm in the living room, they'd be more well behaved because I noticed last week when I was in my boudoir, I don't know like why. Yeah, I do, because it sounds fancy when you call it a boudoir instead of your bedroom. Or we can go Bible times, the bed chamber. I like those old terms other than bedroom. Like it just it does I like boudoir. I think that's French for bedroom. I just like the way it sounds. But I noticed when we were in there, you can't see it, but I can see it. They were more well behaved. My morning broadcast, they like to make so much noise and they're so obnoxious. Today has been a day of all days for me as far as I'm concerned. Y'all remember that song by Monica? Like she came out, I think when I was like 14, 15, back like 20 years ago. I know that song, Just One of Them Days, are things that a girl goes through when I'm angry inside. Just don't want to take it out on you. Man, this morning I woke up with no energy, didn't want to do anything. Usually, I would say 98 out of 100 times. No, 99 out of 100. When my alarm goes off, I'm like, yeah, it's time to get the day started. Even if that's not my attitude, my feet hit the floor and I'm a running. This morning, the alarm went off and I'm like, I'm going to lay here for a few seconds. Let's say I did that last couple days ago, but that's because I didn't get enough sleep and I knew I didn't have to take my husband to work. So, but this morning, I just didn't. And it literally was seconds, seconds. It wasn't even a whole minute because I was like, if I don't get him now, we're going back to sleep. You're missing work. Things would be all bad. But I got off my morning broadcast this morning and I was just so exhausted. Like, I've gotten like almost absolutely nothing accomplished for today. Because I just feel the only reason why my hair looks like this, like it's curled and stuff, is because I roll it with rollers. Because if I had to do this with a curling iron, these curls would have lost hold. That psycho little thing. I can't say her name. She's gonna talk. She just made a noise. You know the thing that makes your house smart. I can't say her name or she talks. She just doo doo. She likes to mess with me. But yeah, I've no energy, no energy whatsoever. Like I don't know if it's at just that time of the month where my mood is just like no. There's one day out the month where I don't want to do anything. I need to start keeping track of that. The day I just feel like ugh, like I feel super fat. Right now I look super pale, which is not technically pale. This is my real color. Well, depending on your screen, but yeah, I'm very 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 light skinned because I'm so naturally light skinned that one time I got a ticket. I got a ticket in Orlando, yeah, on OBT. And my ticket said I was a white lady. Like it said Caucasian. I mean race, white or Caucasian, whatever they said. And I was just like, yes. I don't know why. It just felt good. It felt good to pass. Because when I lived in Ohio, before I started traveling the country, nah, because I traveled the country as a child. But before I started traveling the country as an adult and getting so much sun in my life, I really looked like a white girl in the winter because I lose all color. Other than the fact that I have somewhat of a black person's nose. Actually, to me, it's like more of a mixed nose because it's longer. When I had puberty, elongated. So other than that, but yeah, I really can pass in the winter. And That might make people feel some way, but to us really, really light brights and almost whites, I don't know. It feels good to. I mean, no, it feels good just to blend in with the white people and then be confused. Seriously, seriously. Anyways, the reason why we're here. What's on Melody's mind today? Hey. So what was it last week? Last week, caught in a bad romance. That's still my song to this day. We left off where I got pregnant with Cavell and got mushy. I got mushy. I felt like God wanted me to stay with the man because I was pregnant. So it must be written in the stars for me to stay with my husband. When we're young and dumb, we're dumb, aren't we? I don't care how much book starts you have, how much street smarts you might have. Your heart make you stupid. Stupid, like straight up stupid, straight up stupid. So let's see. I got pregnant. Y'all are not going to guess what happens next. What happens next? If you see what I wrote on my notes, you're gonna be like, oh, "Are you kidding me?" So I got pregnant, right? Remember, I was a hooker, a prostitute. I solicited my body for sex before I got pregnant. And after I got pregnant. Yeah, so during my pregnancy, even my husband, he still didn't want to go out and be a man. See, remember I thought he was gonna man up because he was gonna be a daddy by me. I mean, he had a baby already, but he was gonna be a daddy again. So I, my brain just said naturally a man when his woman, not his woman, but his wife is pregnant with child, doesn't want his wife to be a hooker. I understand some men are bums, but I don't. The fact that you would still allow your wife to sell her body while she's pregnant, like, bruh, you are risking life and death for your child now, not just her, like. But remember, Kevin wasn't much of nothing, much ado about nothing. I've always loved that title. Rock on. I said that because for some reason I threw up rock signs. I apologize because I know what they really mean in the spiritual realm, but that's neither here nor there. So yeah, I'm pregnant and I'm still tricking treating. Even when I did it, I used to call it trick or treating. Because I'm either going to get a trick or I'm going to get a treat. The treat's the money. The trick is the cops. Or those several bad incidences where people were trying to kill me. So yeah, I'm still a tricking. Like what I'm trying to see. I'm trying to remember put pieces together. So I don't even know. I don't even remember. Like, yeah, I'm tricking until I just got so big. So big. Couldn't hide it. Couldn't hide it. I mean, my belly, woo. Y'all can see my belly right now, but you don't want to see. I told you I feel fat today. So that's why it's just strictly headshot. Even though my cheeks give it away for the people who really know me, but I still feel fat. I still look good, even though I'm feeling extra, extra fat. My husband tells me he'll love me either way, and that just makes me want to slap him because it's like, bro, you accept me at my worst. I know to some people that sounds like a good thing, but no. When somebody accepts me at my worst, that just makes me be not as good. It makes me fall off, and I'm not my best when I'm with somebody who accepts me at my worst. So no, babe, encourage me to be better than just whatever. I'm just saying. That's out there for y'all women and men too. Don't I mean it's one thing for your spouse or your significant other to love you no matter what, but they shouldn't truly accept you at your worst. I mean, unless you fail while you were with them, but them just being cool with it? No, no. You should be with somebody who encourages you to be your best. They accept you when you're less than your best, but they encourage you to be your best. Yes. I was like, I feel like we can end the show right now. But no, no, no. We got to get back to this pregnancy. I tricked and treated until I was too big to hide it. And God is so wonderful and worthy to be praised. So wonderful and worthy to be praised. So during July, so I'm thinking about June, late June. Kevin gets a call, ring 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 ring, from the lawyer, and case is settled. We're ready to get this check. Sounds like a great thing, yeah. So Kevin can afford to take care of me for the time being. So we get on. Maybe it was before. Yeah, it was somewhere in early June. So I wasn't that big. I only gained like 20 pounds, 25 pounds with Cavell because I was throwing up almost every day. And I know you might be like, well, that's pregnancy. No, no. It was stress of having a no good husband. I have never been so skinny in my adult life, other than when I was married to that man. I got down to 130 pounds. Face was because, and I ate everything. I mean, everything, but I couldn't keep weight on because I was just so stressed. Like, he was no good for me. No good, no good, no good, baby. Yo, no good. Yeah, I took it there. So, anyways, lawyer called. We ended up hopping a flight to Atlanta. This man, this man put me through everything. I'm like, the things that I forgot. The things that I forgot. So we ended up hopping a flight to Atlanta, and he didn't want to tell his baby mama that I was there with him because he felt like she wouldn't let him see his son, and because I know great crazy baby mamas and just wrong women. I was like, okay. So I stayed with my cousin. I'm pretty sure I paid for them tickets out there too. Because he didn't have any money by then. So I paid for the tickets there. No, that's not how we got there. That's not how we got there. No, no, no. We helped somebody commit insurance fraud. I mean, there's no way the government can really connect this back to me. Like, I don't know the lady's name or whatever. She had a car, it was fully insured. She didn't want to finish paying it off. So we drove that car to a chop shop in Atlanta, and the lady, she called it in stolen so she can get her money. I see my gray patch. That's sexy. That's not the way the light's hitting it. That's sexy. Y'all like my wall? It's one wall in the living room that looks like this. I don't know why it's only one, but it's one. So we drove the car to the chop shop. That's how we got to Atlanta. But he stayed with his baby mama so he could see his son. And because I'm mushy, like I said, I stayed with my cousin, and I was just like, okay, okay, whatever. Until one day he calls me up like 3 o'clock in the morning, talking about he told his baby mama the truth. Now they going through it. She's throwing stuff and kicking him out. At this time, I was paranoid because I ain't had no license. Things that used to get me paranoid back then. I didn't have any license or anything. But and I didn't. There was GPS wasn't a thing. I don't even know if I had a cell phone at that time, but I had to find it all by being told them. You know, you remember them old fashioned directions called word of mouth? Yeah, right. But I found them. I'm somewhat familiar with Atlanta. So I've been there so many times, even as a child, as an adult. Like it's been this the last time that I was in Atlanta. Ooh, y'all can see it now. Yeah, Fulton Road. The light wants to be funny. It's messing with me. Y'all see that wrinkle right there? I got stabbed on Fulton Road in Atlanta. I told y'all about it on one of my other episodes. But so I go and get him. I go and get him, and he comes stays with me and my cousin. And cousin, she has her dude living there. I mean, it was all good. I was big and pregnant. My cousin didn't view me as a threat because she's my cousin. She knows. She knows. And I have my husband there. Like, no, she knows. Right? That's the second time I'm with Atlanta with him. So yeah, I went there twice with him. I guess so. But anyways, so she comes. He he comes and stays with us. And husbands, baby daddy, boyfriend, whatever you wanted to call him at the particular time, they get him and husband and cousins peep man. They get cool. They get cool, and my husband's stupid, like stupid. He told this man his plans. And my cousin, she told me like, "Yo, this is what your husband said to my dude, because he was her dude at the time." And like the day that we left, that's when he was announced to be baby daddy. Because she's like, "Yeah, I'm pregnant," and I'm okay. I believe so. I believe that was the information that she told me that day. It was so long ago, but okay. So, anyways, I have this preview of what's going to happen when we get back to Atlanta to Las Vegas. What it is, what it is. Like I wasn't in love with the man even more. I was just pregnant by him and married to him. That's honestly how I viewed him at that particular time. I was so we get to the airport and he tells me to go find a hotel room and to get on the Greyhound to go to California in the morning. I was like, what in the world was that noise? People, neighbors, they got loud vehicles, louder than mine. And he was going to stay in Vegas and get things situated for me and the baby and my two previous children prior to marriage. That's what you would call it. And I go to the restroom when we come off the airplane because I'm 8 months pregnant. I'm 8 months pregnant at this time. I know I'm 8 months pregnant because technically you're not supposed to fly, but I look so tiny that nobody questioned me. Like I was big enough to where I couldn't hide a pregnancy, but I didn't look like I was in my third trimester because I was tiny. I was tiny because I told you stress will make you. I think I threw up more than 100 times during that pregnancy. And what pregnancy is 9 times 3, 180 days. So it's more times, more days than not. So, anyways, I wish I knew how to pause this video. I need to take some editing classes. Anyway, so what had happened? I went to the restroom, came back from the restroom. I see my husband at baggage claim getting a ride from some other female. There I am, 8 months pregnant, and he has some other female get him. Like, why couldn't he stay the night with me and then take care of business? Because he had $80,000. He only got $80,000 from Sue and Swift. Gave me uno, one. It tells me basically I'm straight. Yeah, I told you he's a jerk. Sometimes I'm really am happy that he's dead so he can't poison any other people in this world because he just wasn't right. So, yeah, I see him and I'm just like paralyzed, like crippled, so traumatized. Like, I don't even say anything to him. I don't follow him. I go to the taxi cab and go and get me a taxi stand. That's what it's called. And go to the taxi and go get me a room and just act like I didn't see my husband leave with some other chick. I'm not stupid. I know they about to get it on and some other things too. But like I said, my husband was such a jerk that I wasn't in love with him anymore. I was just pregnant by him and just staying because I said I do. So I did. Yeah. So I got a Barstow. Why? Because that's where my mother was staying, and I didn't go stay with my mother. I went to go stay at Motel 6 because they keep the light. They leave the light on. I'm thirsty. I like drinking out of wine glasses, whether I'm drinking wine or not. I drink all my fruit beverages out of this glass because it just makes me feel fancy. I feel like saying, yeah, that's the good stuff. Y'all remember Deadpool when the lady says, I miss cocaine? I feel like that all the time. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. I miss doing drugs. I'm not supposed to. So I drink apple juice with little bubbles, sparkling cider out of wine glasses to make me feel like it. Like I don't know. It's the thought of doing something naughty that makes you feel alive. I guess so. Well, that's gone now. I only have water and fake Kool Aid next to me. I know I'm the weirdo who keeps several beverages. But yeah, so I go to to Barstow and stay at Motel 6 with my two children and my big old baby. I stayed there for about a month. Remember I said I was 9 months pregnant, but I stayed there for about a month. No, maybe I was like seven and a half. I was in my third trimester. I was close. I was close. And my husband, he had fun with his 80, well, 79 grand. He had fun. He had fun. He went to this hotel and that hotel, and he was tricking off with this girl and that girl, and they were doing this drug and that drug. Yeah, I found this out later. I mean, I had an inkling because I saw him ride off into the sunset with some woman. And I don't know, I played detective at the time. Back then, because I'm a very trusting woman, my husband had no reason not to trust me per se. So back to Singular. Yeah, that's what it was. Singular, the phone company. I used to call his phones. And when he doesn't answer his phone and I go to voicemail, toot, I chime in and then they ask for the password. And now I can get into my husband's voicemails and all the little trick holes. I'm sorry, I said that. I'm not bitter, but a little. I ain't mad at them. He lied to them, so. But all the women that he was kicking it with, because I said women, you heard me say women. It wasn't just one. They would leave messages for him on this voicemail, and I would hear the voicemails. So I would know who he was with. I knew what he was doing. I knew what hotel he was staying. Mm. So one day he goes out and he buys him a Dodge Magnum, midnight blue, his favorite color. To me, which made no sense because if you're colorblind, how do you have a favorite color? My ex-husband was colorblind. So I love picking out clothes for him because he let me dress that man all the time, every single day. Cause he really like for real, green and gray, y'all wouldn't get it, but I went shopping with him quite often because I was a hooker and I made enough money to where I didn't wear the same outfit twice. For real, every day I just get up and go to the mall and go buy me a new fit and buy him a new fit because we played that part. Play your part. We played that part. So he ends up buying this Dodge Magnum and picks me and my children up because he doesn't want to give me any more money. Yeah, he picks me up because he doesn't want to give me any more money. So it's financially wiser to take me to Vegas and we all just stay together opposed to him paying for his spot and my spot. So I go to Vegas, staying at the Budget Suites, right on Swenson. That's where I got hit by the Navy, Swenson and Twain. Yeah, I got hit by a Navigator, black one. Yes, I did. 2011. I know I've lived a crazy life, but so he takes me there. We're all staying there, and then I guess yeah, my daddy came and stayed with me. My daddy came and stayed with me for no, that was after the baby. Yeah, so he tells me he is go no, my daddy came and stayed with me before the baby because he told me he was going to San Diego to pick up a pack and he'd be right back. All you drug dealers and drug dealer associates, affiliates, know what he's talking about when he said he was going to go pick up a pack. And I was just like, okay, because check it, $80,000 he had spent in 30 days. When I tell you my husband wasn't worth a lick, he wasn't worth his weight in salt, in dirt. We specifically had plans to spend money here, put money there, and if we would have stuck to the plan, we would have had businesses, but no, he went on a stupid doodle dumb streak. And I sure did use that terminology in reference to the Bay Area, because that's where he was from. Remember, he's from Oakland. But yeah, so he's going to go pick up a pack because now he needs to sell marijuana. He wasn't even going to pick up weed drugs. I mean, technically, this is 2006, so technically, weed was still a drug back then. It wasn't a bad drug, but it was a drug in California, in Las Vegas, and then yeah, and in California. My, how the times have changed because it's legal to buy marijuana in both those states, when all you have to do is just be over the age of 21 now. That the world is changing. The world is changing. So yeah, he goes to go pick him up a pack, and he said, "I'll be back in it tomorrow." He was going to San Diego. Little old me decide that's when I was going to go into labor. I don't know. No, I'm not. I wasn't patient back then. I was just extremely tolerant. If you haven't caught that yet, so me and my in labor self, I hold it in. I hold it in because I'm trying to wait for my husband to come back from California so he could be there at the birth of our son, our firstborn together. Because he has a son, I have a son. They're actually 4 days apart and have the same nickname, Zay. His is Xavier, mine's Isailan. And they're like, seriously, same year and everything. Weird if I've ever said so. So I am not patiently, but tolerantly, basically holding my legs, just going through this back labor. Because, oh, yes, it was back labor. There's a difference between regular labor and there's a difference between back labor. I did not understand that until I finally had back labor with my third child. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It wasn't until I lost my mucus plug that I was just like, I have to go to the hospital. This is already 4 days of me being in labor. Yeah, I was in labor for 4 days, and why didn't the baby fall out? Because I have C-sections. I don't dilate. So unless the doctor goes in there and cut me open, I stay in labor. And I know this to be true because when I had my firstborn, I didn't go back down to normal, and I had a severe virus because my body didn't stop being in labor for 2 weeks, even after the birth. And they just told me the pain I was feeling was because I just had a baby. I'm tired of doctors. They be telling me whatever. You don't know my body. I do. I've been with it all my life. Anyway, so yes, I tried waiting for this man to show up for his son's birth. I go to the hospital. It takes some time to schedule a C-section. So he had time to drive from San Diego to Las Vegas. What is like 6 hours? Yeah. Or it's like 5, 6 hours. It's not that long. I've driven it. Yeah, I've literally driven it several times. But lo and behold, I remember that it was just time. It was just time because the doctor's ready. Mrs. Champagne, are you ready? Like, just do it. Just do it. Just get the baby out of me. I don't think I blinked that whole entire time just because there was nobody else to have my back there. With my first two children, right? With Isaiah, I fell asleep. With Kaylani, I was highly aware, but the moment she came out and they showed her to me covered in purple slime, and I fussed at the doctor because I told him I didn't want to see her like that. I literally told them to clean her off before they show her to me because I don't want that to be the first image of my child looking like a purple slimy alien, and I can't get that image out of my head. It won't go away. It, but no, so yeah, I stayed awake the whole entire time. I had the baby. They cleaned the baby first before they showed him to me. Thank the Lord. Somebody got the message right. And they bring him to me, and he's just the beautifulest little baby boy ever. Light bright, long, dark, curly hair. No, it wasn't curly yet. Long, dark, straight, beautiful hair. He had silky hair. He had hair like this without having to use hot comb curlers, blow dryer, or all the other ways that we get our hair straight like this. No, it came out like that. Cavell has some beauty. It still does. Still does. He didn't get that from me. He got that from his daddy. That's how his daddy's hair is. But they laid him on me. Sweet little baby. Sweet little baby. 7 pounds, some ounces. I don't know. After so many children, you forget the exact measurements. But I didn't go to sleep until they finally took us into, because you have to recover. You sit in the delivery room, then you sit in the recovery room, and then they put you in your own room. I didn't fall asleep until they put me and him in our own room, and he was in my arms. And I know they tell you don't sleep with the baby in your bed. Woman, if you don't leave me alone, I'll kill you. Yes, I just had a baby. I'm married and my husband wasn't here. Leave me alone. This baby ain't leaving my eyesight right now, even if my eyes are closed. So, yes, I remember texting him a picture of Cavell. This man had the audacity to call me and asked me, "Is that Cavell?" Because we decided upon a name. Well, I told him what I was gonna name my son because he was mine. I don't care if that baby look just like him to this day. That baby mine. And he said, "Is that Cavell?" And because I am who I am, I said, "No. I just happened to take a picture of a light-skinned newborn baby that looked like he could be ours. Duh, what do you think? Yes, this is our son." So then he finally comes to the hospital. Right? He comes to the hospital, stays for about 5 minutes because he doesn't like hospitals and just dips. Dips. Right? Did he? No. 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 I take that all back. I take that all back. Wrong situation. When it's all bad, it all just seems to blur. But no, this man doesn't even make it to the hospital. I guess he decided to stay in San Diego for one last hurrah because now he has a newborn. He's supposed to be a man and man up. So I end up having to take, well, for one, I didn't have insurance. Two, I end up convincing. because I'm me and God loves me. Even when I was a bad person, God loved me so much. He's so wonderful and worthy to be praised. Yes, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. I convinced the man at the hospital to give me my medicine. Like, I think I paid $10 for my medicine. Because you have a baby, you have a C section, you get cut open, you need drugs. Some prescription ones over the counter will not do. So, yes, I have to take a taxi to where I was staying at the Budget Suites. Thank the Lord in the hospital for taxi vouchers. It's one way to get them people out of there because they just, I don't want you sitting around here after we didn't, what's the word? It's not released you, but yeah, basically, it starts with a D. I can't remember. It's been so long since I've been in the hospital, I forget what it's called. Discharge. There you go. But after they discharge you, that's disgusting. Because I think a discharge, even though I don't have those issues, that's not what I think of. I know I'm silly, right? So, anyways, I go home and my daddy's there. Thank the Lord, my daddy's there, and my daddy and his girlfriend. I know, right? Thank the Lord, my daddy was there. Even though I didn't care to trust my dad with children. What other option did I have? I couldn't take it with me, and my husband was just not being a good man. So yeah, he finally comes home. I remember the lady next door, her name was Queen. She had beautiful green eyes, like they were hazel blue with sparks of gold. Her eyes were just that beautiful that it's been 15 years and I still remember her eyes. Her stripper name, I never stripped with her. I just knew she was a stripper and she lived next door. Her stripper name was Queen. I know, if you heard my dog go, I was just like, oh my goodness, is that? I got my crown right here. I went by Queen once upon a time in the streets. I don't know. But she went out and bought a car seat for my baby. She went out and bought the little bouncy, yeah, the little bouncer for him to sit and sleep in. And she also went and bought him a playpen and some other things because she was just like, oh, you had a baby. So, yeah, God is good because he even used a sinner to help a sinner like me, even when I was just in the midst of the craziness. Oh, he's so wonderful. But yeah, so he finally comes home and meets his son. And it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Because it's like a fool me once, fool me twice situation. But this is the one. So it was the first time where he fooled me once and just shame on you. Like, so I told you my dad and his girlfriend were staying with me. Because my dad suffered from homelessness for years. So he's staying with me because I'm a nice daughter, even though my dad was a pedophile junkie. I still let my dad stay with me. I mean, the times when I wasn't at the hospital, my dad was never alone with those children. I was always around them. So I'm like, but my dad was never going to touch my children. I still to this day, you can't pay me enough to try to make me even think that my dad touched my children. No. 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 Just because you did something wrong one time or multiple times years ago doesn't mean you're going to do them again. People can change, and they do. They do. I know. I'm living proof because I've changed. But so, because my dad and his girlfriend are staying with us, my husband feels some type of way, and he doesn't want to be around. So, yeah, this is so terrible. This was so terrible. This was like our 1 year anniversary. I know I had a baby all before I was even 1 year married. Like life in the fast lane. I have said so many song titles during this episode. I might actually watch it just to write down how many I mentioned. I don't watch a single episode of this show. I tell my husband, my current husband, like, it was hard for me to go through it one time and then for me to share it another time because almost every story on here is a bad story with a positive spin. They're painful for me. Even though I forgive, there's still remnants of pain that I feel when I tell these stories. So he didn't he didn't care that my daddy and his girlfriend were there. Never asked me to get rid of them. I don't know if I would have, but on our 1 year, yeah, our 1 year wedding anniversary, this man goes out and he doesn't come. What, Cavell? Cavell was born on the 24th in the same hospital in which Tupac died, right? I'm so West Coast. But so what was it? August 5th. This is 2006, August 5th, 2006. Kevin decides he's out. He's out. He's out. Dude didn't leave me with no money. With no money. Obviously, my dad and his girlfriend ain't got no money, or they wouldn't be sleeping on my little tiny couch on the floor. I most likely had them on the floor because it was just a 1 bedroom suite. And now we have 3 children and 4 adults in a 1 bedroom suite. Look, Kevin decides he's out and he leaves Melody high and dry with a newborn baby. With a newborn baby. Thank the good Lord for mother's milk that come naturally. Cause if not, I don't know how I'd have been able to feed that baby too. Cause formula is an arm and a leg in 2 cows. It is 42 minutes into today's episode. Oh, yeah, I'm doing it again. I'm doing it again. When I did it last week, I knew this was going to be more than a 2-part episode. You know, them shows where you watch, you like, to be continued. And you get angry. Get angry at me because you know what is to be continued. Stay tuned or tune in. Yeah, tune in for next week of Caught in a Bad Romance, part 3. Will it end there, or will we keep on continuing? We have to come back to find out. I'm here every single Tuesday, unless God wants me to be somewhere else. Indefinitely, because I'm still living. I'm still living. I gotta make new adventures, but I'm still living. I'm only 38, so I'm nowhere near the end of my book. Had many chapters, nowhere near the end of my book. So please tune in next Tuesday. One of these days, I'm going to get a specific time in which I drop my shows. But until we meet again, I love you. God loves you. You have a blessed and wonderful week. Please come back. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe.